Growing up, for a span of around 6 months, Destroy All Humans was all I played. I played as the Furon Crypto Supremium and loved going from city to city, causing as much havoc as I possibly could. The combat was fantastic, all the weapons were really fun. You could electrocute those pesky humans all at once, eviscerate humans entirely, or use psychonetic powers to literally blow their brains out. But when things got a little overwhelming, I could hop back into my UFO, destroy the whole city or town using my death ray and a lot of other really cool weapons to completely flatten 1950s America. Recently, I decided to go back and play Destroy All Humans as an adult. Not only did it live up to my expectations, it exceeded them. Because I last played the game as a kid, a lot of the story and jokes went completely over my head. A lot of the humor here is really fantastic. It exceeds at being dark while not being overly crude. So as you can guess, I was really excited when the Destroy All Humans remake was announced. I even pre-ordered it as soon as I possibly could. Welcome to Buy It or Pass It. At the end of the video, I'll let you know if you should buy the Destroy All Humans remake or pass it. What you'll likely be blown away by when you first boot up the Destroy All Humans remake is just how stunning the game's visuals are. I mean, here's footage from the third level of the original recorded from the original Xbox. Then here's footage of the remake recorded from an Xbox One. Just a massive upgrade, and obviously a lot of that is to be expected. I mean, there is over a 15-year difference between these two titles, but the game just looks awesome, even when compared to other PS4 and Xbox One titles. Just totally blown away by this game graphically. The missions of the remake are still a blast to play today. They have all seemed to age really well, and the humor here is still top-notch, and seems to have aged really well as well. Sort of like a fine Destroy All Humans comedy wine. The weapons are just as satisfying as they were in the original, now with cool new effects to match the updated look of the overall game. I'm really glad they kept the open world aesthetic from the original. It's a lot of fun to destroy all the humans you possibly can in different parts of America. They also expanded upon these areas, adding a lot more detail than what was originally there. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Well, that's great, but if they're not adding anything new, I should just go play the original instead. But thankfully, that's not what's really happening here. The game is so much more than its graphical facelift. But for the rest of this review, I want to focus on the remake as its own title, rather than constantly comparing it to the original. The combat here is truly a lot of fun. Crypto has a wide variety of weapons that can do some serious damage to both humans and the environment around him. Crypto also has the ability to throw objects in the air, read minds, disguise himself as humans, and crack skulls wide open with his psychonetic abilities. As I said earlier, the game is sort of semi-open world. The game is divided into several levels, with each level having sort of a small sandbox that you get to play around in. I actually like this, and prefer it to a traditional open world. It gives you the opportunity to explore and destroy some really unique areas across 1950s America without having to worry about a jarring change of scenery. Each area is also jam-packed with a few main game missions to do, and these are all a lot of fun and lead to some seriously goofy scenarios, such as impersonating a town's mayor to try to let the citizens know that there is absolutely no alien threat and that they have nothing to worry about. Then there are also several side missions in each area that will yield you extra DNA points. These points can be used to buy upgrades from your commander alien Pox. I really liked investing in the saucer upgrades. It's so awesome to get in the saucer and blow things up. I really love the explosion effects in this game. But don't think that you'll be able to accomplish this destruction without something getting in your way. The Destroy All Humans remake doesn't rely on a star system similar to something that you might see in GTA, but instead there are several levels of enemies that you'll have to fight through as you continue to cause more and more destruction. The bottom level is local law enforcement, then the military will get called in, and then if you cause enough mayhem, the game's version of the CIA will be dispatched to try to get rid of your alien threat. The cinematics are also really nice and do a great job to make you feel like you're in 1950s America. And I know I literally just said that I'm going to stop comparing it to the original, but hey, it's my video and I get to make the rules. Anyway, these cinematics are a lot more, well, cinematic than the original, making use of a lot of different camera angles and doing a great job to show the detail of the environments as well as the character models. Which leads me to probably the only real complaint that I have about this game. I gotta be honest, I really don't care for the character design of the remake. You can tell that they were going for a slightly more cartoony aesthetic this time around, with all the character models having rather exaggerated features. While this certainly isn't terrible and it's fine in its own right, I prefer the original's more realistic character design so much more. I think that the realism of the world of the original made the absurdity of trash-talking aliens all the more funny. It also made the humor, well, that much more ironic and funny. It felt like the Andy Griffith Show, but with aliens. The remake also kept the voice acting of the original, and I'm really glad it did. A lot of the lines and delivery from the first game were really iconic, and I'm glad they just didn't fix something that wasn't broken. Maybe I'm just imagining things, but I swear that Crypto and Pox banter more in this game than they did in the original. Every source I can find claims that no new lines were recorded for either of the characters, but it just feels like that there's more dialogue here. I guess it's totally possible that there was just a lot of unused content from the original game. Anyway, the voice acting here is really top notch. One complaint that I do have about the voice acting now is that the character models don't seem to do a super good job of syncing their lips to the dialogue, but it's not anything super noticeable. There are a few new combat mechanics that make the remake all the more playable. For example, you can now drain the life force out of enemies to replenish the shields of your saucer. The psychokinetic abilities have also received a little bit of an overhaul from the original game. Now it's no longer necessary to lock onto a target to use telekinesis or read their minds or to confuse them. Instead, the game will handle the locking on for you. This allows you to feel so much more powerful, as you can throw objects and people much easier. But if you prefer the feel of the first game, you can absolutely still lock onto targets as you see fit. THQ Nordic and Black Forest Games did a fantastic job taking a title that was a cult classic, translating it to the modern era of gaming, and adding features that vastly improve it over the original game. I really hope that the remake sells well, because I'd love to see a Destroy All Humans 2 remake or a new original game in the Destroy All Humans universe. So I'm going to be giving this game a buy it. I think that if you're a big fan of the Destroy All Humans franchise, this is an instant buy. But if you're not, the price tag of only $40 should be enough to hopefully lure you in. That's all from me, YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video.